Hello, my name is Lauren Schwint, and today I'll be doing a tutorial on a little, what's it called, technique I came up with for transparent art, which I haven't really come up with a name or whatever. But first, let me explain what I'm doing. I'm working on a series for that of pieces for window hangings or to be put in front of light boxes that deal with the chakras. And if you know what those are, awesome. If you don't, I'm sorry, and I'll explain that in another video. But the end result is going to be a little bit like this. Oops. Except the very end result will be me cutting out this and then stitching around it to give it sort of a frame, and then it will be hung, this one being the sacral chakra, with all the different chakras. I'll also be selling singular chakras for whichever ones are your favorite. I need more help opening. This technique that you can see is pretty transparent. Probably get something to, see? Also thinking about using it with candles, like for little candle holders, things like that. Gives you a really pretty transparent look. And here's an example of a throat chakra piece. See? Pretty cool if you're into that kind of thing, working with transparencies. And basically these videos will be on the different steps of this technique that I use. I originally came up with this technique when I was doing a series in one of my classes, and it was a series that had to do with the female reproductive system, and I'll show those in another video. But I did a series of uteruses that came out very pretty, and I really liked this technique that I came up with using wax paper and paint and spray paint, tissue paper and construction paper, and layering those with different glues to get this really interesting kind of semi-abstract look, depending on what you're wanting to make. Like, for me in the past, I made body parts, but you can also do things that are a little more subtle and a little more friendly to the public. So that's what I'm working on right now. And right now, I am one of the first steps to being able to make one of these is to make the pieces. Basically, each of these lays out like a puzzle that you layer yourself, and I'm using the symbolism from the different chakras. So you have the 16 petal lotus, because this is the throat chakra, and you have the 16 petals and the triangle, and also using some other symbolism like the white circle and the crescent moon, things like those. And currently I'm making, for this video, I'll be showing you how to make the pieces that you're going to be then layering. And what I'm working on right now are the different pieces for the root chakra, which got my chakra Bible and my chakra healing handbook. Woo! This chakra is symbolized by the yellow square, four-petal lotus. That's a pretty abstract looking lotus. Sorry, guys. Yeah, there's another one. Four-petal lotus. And the orange triangle. But it's mainly recognized by the color red. So I'll be mainly using reds with accents of maybe occasionally some yellow squares and orange triangles. So what we're going to do is basically the construction paper part. This is one of the pieces of construction paper that I'm working with, basic construction paper. And this video, mainly a lot of explanation and not a lot of step. So also what we're going to need to use, forgot to explain this, is we're using a lot of glues. A whole lot of glues, different glues, and mixing and matching, kind of just playing with the transparency of different glues and getting them to stick. Because what we're working on a lot of is wax paper. This is a little, what I'm going to make a 4-petal lotus with wax paper. And when you're done cutting out your paper, you're then going to apply it to wax paper, and I'll show that in a little bit. I totally forgot to get this video really prepared. I'm mainly explaining the process. But for this process, you're going to use a lot of construction and tissue paper. And because one of the fun things about this process is the process. This project for me is a lot of process and a lot of making the puzzle pieces. You don't know, or at least for me, I don't like knowing right away what's going to come out. I like growing with my art. And so with this kind of technique, it's a lot of making your own puzzle pieces, seeing what happens, and then once you have your puzzle pieces made, fitting them together and making the finished product based on what look you're going for. So playing off different materials and layering them, you eventually get the look. So since this is already 7 minutes long, I'll be back in just a second to explain more about different glues that I'll be using. Bye!